Shanghai, and welcome to Face Off. This week, TSM and Digger in China facing off against World Elite, but we have some breakout teams to talk about. I'm Drybear.
That's right. Going into our first topic today, we're going to be talking about some of the most unknown teams going into the SMITE World Championships. I'm dmbrandon.
That brings us to our first topic today, breakout teams. Now, we've been talking about Worth for about 2 weeks or so, but I want to talk a little bit about ELO Fishers.
That's right. We have Risterian coming back into the SMITE competitive scene after a long break. One of our, I think, original vets, someone we talked a lot about in the closed beta. Risterian comes back with a super strong performance. His team was able to defeat Team Solo Mid in the round of 8.
Yeah, TSM being knocked out in the round of 8 is real tough for them. Now, they did have Zimstar in this time, so a little bit of loss in the synergy between the players there. But we also want to talk about Bloody Tech. Bloody Tech making it all the way to the grand finals this week up against C9. Took a game off them. It was 2-0 actually towards the end, so 2-0 up against C9. Certainly a long series there, and they played some really great games. So I think Bloody Tech is a great topic to talk about. But on the North American side of things, we had 5 Angry Men.
5 Angry Men replaced Dare to Care with DJ Pernicus. They had a week of growing pains, but going into this week, we saw the Osiris come out. There was a lot of Nemesis play, and 5 Angry Men really just had beautiful synergy, earned them a trip to the finals, not only through Snipe, but through cognitive gaming as well.
So another team to talk about as well is Fat Chunk Assemble. They made it all the way through. They beat Victoria's Secret, of course, and they almost beat COG. It was very close. I think it was 28 kills to 16. Very, very close on the end there and proving themselves. But I think there's a key component and that's going to be Kiki Star, who played for Return last week. This time around, he plays for Fat Chunk Assemble, but there are some rumors going around about Snipe.
So going into week 6, Wolfie will no longer be on the roster for Snipe. Rumored it's going to be Kiki Star, or now Miss the Boat, filling in there, which is going to leave a hole in Fat Chunk Assemble. To the same regard, we're also seeing Jerby possibly hitting the bench in favor of ranked monster extraordinaire Astro Squared.
You know, Wolfie and Jerby are kind of in the same boat right there, and honestly, it's kind of funny with the Miss the Boat there going on. But yeah, it's gone. But at the same time, you know, they're these good players that haven't really found their home yet. They're kind of floating around looking for it. Wolfie's been in and out of a lot of teams. Jerby has been in and out of a lot of teams. And I think the biggest thing about Wolfie is that I don't think he's found out how to be a team player yet. I think he is really a strong player by himself. I think he plays strong, he wins his lane, but I think he doesn't really fit into that team component as well. Some other players may, and that synergy never really gets built up there. So I think the biggest thing about Wolfie leaving is that actually there's more room for stronger players that are more team-oriented to come in.
Well, in that regard, I'm very surprised to see them lean towards Kiki Star, because for the teams that he's been on in the past, you know, way back in the beginning of SMITE, I mean, those were the same complaints that we heard about Kiki or Miss the Boat, whatever you want to call him. Hard for him to find team, large ego, argues a lot. I mean, same things we hear from Wolfie. So really, they're replacing one square with another square to try to fill the circle hole that Snipe really needs to be filled. So this might be a difficult transition for them. And given the fact that this is so late in the season, and the fact that their 5 Angry Men are hot on their tail, not to mention the Game Changers always doing super well, we might see a shift here. Snipe, for the first time, might fall out of the top 3.
Well, I think the biggest thing about that as well is there are a lot of teams in the SWC right now that have maybe 2 or 3 very strong players, and then there's some weak links going on there. I think sometimes teams just realize that they've hit their ceiling or they're close to it, and they're like, let's swap up the roster, let's bring in some new talent, let's try and swap things up, try and get doing something into it. Snipe has been performing decently, but I think they want, you know, top level. They want to try and jump up to there, and there also is going to be emotional and personal aspects to it as well.
Sure.
Much like Young Bay leaving TSM, not necessarily the fact that he was underperforming, which is what they said outward, but it's more just it fits better with SMEC.
Well, to the same point though, we look at Team Dignitas, who, you know, in the past have had maybe some roster issues, but they stick with it, they farm up as much as possible, and eventually they turn themselves into the #1 seed.
Obviously, you know, with 5 Angry Men coming in, they obviously lost a little bit of that aspect there with Dig going strong and keeping that roster. They always focus on keeping the roster as much as they possibly can because you build in that history with the players and everyone can practice and work together. At the same time, picks have been changing a lot as well in the competitive scene, and I want to talk about that.
That's right. Fenrir support.
Fenrir support certainly has its merits. Very aggressive, high burst damage, good control in the early stages of SMITE and the closed beta. We saw very aggressive lanes, and I think we're seeing more of them now, especially with the changes to Warriors. The restructuring allowed more room for these aggressive picks, like Naja as well.
Well, we saw a Nasha Osiris lane that didn't work out too much. People, I think, are going too far out of the box, and it's resulting in big losses. I5 going down early this week.
Yeah, they lost their chance at seeding points again. It was at a 20th seed team, Optimum eSports. I think they just didn't give respect to the fact that these players are coming out to play for tournament. They're not as bad as you think they are. They're going to crush you if you give them a window, and that's exactly what they did there. I want to talk a little about the Anubis pick that's kind of circulating right now. It's been picked to counter sustained mages in the solo lane, and it works in the laning phase. But after that,
it's just NQ. It's just NQ trying to make something happen. And it's working, and he's going to keep doing it.
It's working in the laning phase.
They keep winning, though. I mean, Cloud9's doing well.
They. Stop picking Anubis. Something as well, top pick, top ban coming out there. I personally don't agree with that. I think with Geb being as strong as he is, Bacchus being as strong as he is, Kumbhakarna being as strong as he is, Sun Wukong still working as support, very strong. Osiris support still working and coming out strong. Good slow, good stun AoE, ultimate that reduce healing. I don't know why Sobek's being picked at all.
Well, Sobek also has the amazing healing reduction. I mean, it can be 90% with Divine Ruin. Not to mention, Tail Whip is one of the most annoying abilities to have to fight in the game during objective phases. I mean, he walks in and Tail Whips 3 people away from a Fire Giant and steals it. That's a big deal.
Well, I think Sobek just needs an ultimate. I don't think he has an ultimate. Does he have an ultimate?
He goes under the water and then
he gets his
discolors
mana back. The water. It's a mana regen.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's about it, though.
Certainly.
Though we did see a lot of damage come out in that game. I liked it. I like Sobek. I think he's a good pick.
I don't like him.
I don't like you.
This brings us to today's game. Buy or sell?
Buy or sell. Bloody Tech returns to the finals.
I'm going to sell it.
I am going to definitely sell it. I don't think they have any chance of making it back again, at least not next week.
I certainly don't either. I think they don't even make it to the semifinals.
Ooh, I don't know if I go that far.
Buy or sell. 5 Angry Men return to the finals in North America.
If they get Scylla again, sure, I'd buy that. Without Scylla, that's going to be a sell.
I'm going to go ahead and say sell it as well. I don't think they even make it through COG this week.
Okay.
Buy or sell. Kumbhakarna is a top pick now.
Buy. I think Kumbhakarna is absolutely fantastic. I think his kit works very, very well. I think that it took a while for people to really understand. I mean, he has so many CC abilities. He has the knock-up. He has the epic uppercut, which combos into so many abilities. We've seen Scylla ults into the epic uppercut. We've seen Poseidon ultimates. We've seen big bursts. Erasing people. He's fantastic.
I'm going to sell. Well, I think he's strong. I think Geb is still better. And I think people, while they are starting to learn how to play him, still don't know how to fight him. And in a few weeks' time, I think he's going to fall off.
Buy or sell. Cloud9, even with winning, is underperforming.
Buy. I think C9, honestly, Bloody Tech was looking sharp last week, but I think they weren't at the level where they could just go, 40, 50, 60 minutes against a team like C9, and it took them that long to close it out. I think C9 is missing skill shots. I think they're still playing sloppy in certain areas, and they still have places to improve, especially when they swapped out Young Bae in, but they had the talent to carry them through it.
I don't buy it. I think that if they're going to pick Anubis and still win, they're on top. That's it.
That concludes Face Off for today. A lot of things to talk about and things to look forward to looking into the qualifiers, but there's going to be no qualifiers this weekend. Bring us about it.
That's right. We're going to see TSM and Team Dignitas go to China to face off against the World Elite in the Shanghai Showmatch. This weekend, we're going to have a 4v4 Siege tournament, both for North America and Europe, to, I guess, have just a little bit of a break here while we wait for the teams to get back.
Sure, the 4v4 Siege tournament is a chance for people to see the game mode, see how they like it, have a little fun this weekend, and there's still going to be prize pools for both of those as well. But you talked a little about the East vs. West Shanghai Showmatch that's happening this weekend. It's going to be between, obviously TSM, Dig, and World Elite from China. They're going to be playing together in any kind of assortment that hasn't been decided yet. Yeah, kind of going back to forth and really see how China's been developing their team. And I'm excited to see it. But I think a lot of people are excited to see it because there's a chance we might actually rebroadcast it at some point next week as it gets sent over to us. And I'm certainly excited to see what's going to happen.
I mean, in all games, the Chinese meta, as it's called, when it breaks out, I really can't wait to see what they bring to the table.
Oh, absolutely. But if you're looking to see the Siege tournament this weekend, North America will be taking place on Saturday. It's going to be at 12 p.m. Eastern start time for the stream. Check it out. Hindu Man and yourself, DM Brandon, are going to be casting that up on Sunday. Right. It's going to be 9 a.m. Eastern start time for the European region.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of players have really developed a strong meta. I think we're going to see some pretty good action this weekend.